Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Series 13 rule set for competitive Pokemon, which will begin in September. And I'm going to be ranking the now legal mythical Pokemon. Some of these Pokemon are incredibly broken, and I can't wait to... Oh god, no! Sorry about that, not sure what happened. Anyway, where were we? Alright, Series 13. With Worlds right around the corner, there have been a lot of questions about what the rule set's gonna be after Worlds, and it's just been announced. The official format for at least the in-game ladder in Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to be the craziest format we have ever seen. You can use restricted Pokemon, okay, that sounds normal. You can use as many restricted Pokemon as you want, and also Mythicals. For the first time ever, Mythicals are gonna be legal, and you can also use as many of those as you want. So with that in mind, let me walk you through Pengy's patented comprehensive mythical tier list going into Series 13. Hey, no, stay away from me! Don't mind her, we'll get to her later. Let's start at the bottom of the tier list with Diancie. Diancie is a pretty cool Pokemon conceptually, but it's probably also the single worst idea you can have for a team. Mainly because Zacian exists, so a double steel weakness seems just kinda like a bad idea. Now, an example of a much better mythical would be Deoxys. Deoxys attack has an insane 180 attack and special attack, as well as an incredibly fast 150 base speed, while Deoxys speed goes all the way up to 180, making it the fastest Pokemon in the... Oh, hold on. Hello? What's that? What's a Regieleki? It's how fast? Right, of course. Thank you. Right, so I've just been informed that Regieleki exists, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw Deoxys into the trash heap at the bottom as well. Zarude exists, and if you're anything like me, you literally forget this thing exists until you Google full mythical Pokemon list. And it'll probably stay that way. Mythicals are usually only good when they have like some unique strength or a really cool unique ability, and the most unique thing about Zarude is how forgettable it is. With 7 weaknesses and nothing particularly notable on the positive side, Zarude is just not a really worthwhile Pokemon for your team. Volcanion is pretty cool. Not only does it look like a donut, but it has a unique typing of fire water as well as the ability Water Absorb, which in theory makes it a pretty good Kyogre switch-in. The problem is it doesn't really do very much else. Kyogre's spread moves will hit Volcanion's partner anyway, and if you're like me and you're also a guy who only likes to play with Kyogre, you'll know that clicking Water Spout in front of Storm Drain doesn't really deter you that much either, so Water Absorb's probably not going to be any different. With a base speed of 70, Volcanion is also too slow to work on a fast team, but too fast to work in a Trick Room team, so that's unfortunate as well. Its typing is also uniquely bad for a good defensive typing, given the format. Being weak to Regieleki, as well as being weak to Max Quake, just seems like a good way to get bopped. I don't think it's absolute trash, but it's probably not very good either. Jirachi, Keldeo, and Zeraora are all kinda just fine. If they were slotted into any normal format, they would be pretty strong Pokemon, but in a format like this, I can't really see them making many waves. Jirachi's access to Serene Grace gives it the ability to have a 60% flinch chance on moves like Iron Head, but in a format with Dynamax, that's a lot less likely to come into play. It does get Follow Me though, which is kinda neat. Keldeo I think is gonna be a pretty good Colossal partner, but I don't know how good Colossal's gonna be in this format, and with other water Pokemon like Kyogre running around as options, I don't know why you would really run Keldeo. I don't even know if I would consider it better than its counterpart water fighting type, Urshifu Rapid Strike. Zeraora is really fast, except it's kinda not anymore. When your main strength is a 143 base speed stat, it's just not gonna be good enough in a format that now has 148 base speed Zacian, 150 base speed Calyrex Shadow Rider, and of course the 200 base speed Regieleki. It does have pretty decent offensive stats, but again, in a format like this with super bulky restricteds, it's not likely to be enough. Volt Absorb might be a kind of neat anti-Regieleki tech though. Mew is kinda neat in a Dynamax format because of its access to basically every move. It can learn every TM and every TR. That means that with a Dynamax format, it's going to be really hard to pin down if it's physical or special, and thus make it a lot harder to play against. Access to Transform is kind of neat for this format as well, if super niche. Ultimately though, stats of 100 across the board aren't super impressive for a format like this where Pokemon need specialization or a unique ability to shine, so I feel like Mew falls somewhere in the awkward middle. Marshadow is potentially kind of crazy in a Dynamax format. With max moves boosting Mons all over the place, Spectral Thief could be a crazy move. Marshadow's signature move allows it to steal the boosts of opposing Pokemon. The main downfall of Marshadow is that it's weak to both Calyrex Shadow Rider and Max Airstream, which is the most common max move in most formats. Being weak to Fairy is also not fantastic with Player Up Zacian and that thing running around. It's probably around the same level as Mew, I think. Now we get into the cool stuff. Let's talk about Big Daddy Melmetal, the only mythical with a Gigantamax form. It's also wildly good as a Trick Room sweeper, with almost Calyrex Ice level stats, but slower and super effective against it. Its signature move, Double Iron Bash, is also boosted by its Iron Fist ability, making it insanely strong. It's basically a 120 base power move that has a 30% chance to cause flinching, which is honestly kind of insane. Its special defense is its weak point, but as a Trick Room sweeper, the thing might be unparalleled. Its G-Max move is also kind of neat, if maybe not the best in the format. It applies Torment to its opposing Pokemon, which prevents them from picking the same move twice in a row. But Max Steel Spike is already such a good max move that it might be better to just run it as a Dynamax Pokemon instead of with its Gigantamax form. I think Genesect is a really cool option. It's too speed, too slow to be a crazy menace, unfortunately. I feel like base 100 speeds like Charizard or Zapdos carrying Heat Wave will probably be its main nemesis. But Download makes a mixed Assault Vest Genesect set a pretty viable option. The ability Download will boost Genesect's attack or special attack when it enters the field, so if you have both attacking and special attacking options, you can really sort of pivot to whichever ones fit the situation better based on your Download boost. With Tailwind, it can outspeed pretty much the entire format, and it gets a solid amount of coverage including Fly for Max Airstream. I feel like Genesect is going to be very difficult for people to figure out, but on the right team, it could absolutely pop off. Victini is really scary. Its stats are nothing to write home about, being 100 across the board, similar to Mew, but V-Create is an insanely powerful offensive option, and Searing Shot is also a pretty good signature move. Most importantly though, its ability Victory Star boosts the ally's accuracy by 10%. Initially you might think that that sounds like not really a big deal, until you realize that you can put it next to a Groudon for 93.5% accurate Precipice Blades and Sun boosted V-Creates. Oh, and don't forget accuracy-boosted Sleep Powders from Venusaur. Maybe Wide Lens Venusaur is finally gonna be a good idea. Honestly, this core is absolutely terrifying to me. Obviously, it's not uncounterable, especially being weak to Shadow Rider, but I think Sun Victini has incredible potential in this format. You might think Victini is scary, but there's one more that makes it look like a peasant. Do you want to know why it's so hard to find Arceus? Because Arceus realized its mistake when it created this eldritch being and hides away from it. Because when this beast is released from its slumber, all shall cower before it. None shall be safe. Endless destruction will starfall down upon us from the skies as it gains more and more power, growing in strength until it envelops us all and dooms us to oblivion. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be appeased. Look at its eyes, its cold, dead, mechanical eyes, powered by death. Magearna will be the end of us all. Oblivion! Sorry, not sure what came over me there. Anyways, Magearna's a pretty good Pokemon. Its ability is Soul Heart, which boosts its special attack by 1 stage every time another Pokemon faints. It's kinda like Beast Boost, except for that it doesn't have to be Magearna that deals the finishing blow in order to get the boost. Needless to say, it can get out of hand very quickly, especially when you consider that Magearna's signature move, Fleur Cannon, becomes a 150 base power max Starfall when it Dynamaxes. Magearna's Steel Fairy typing is also one of the best typings in the game. On top of that, Magearna gets access to a ton of coverage moves, which makes it a nightmare to figure out just what offensive options it's going to be carrying. All of those factors make it an incredibly difficult Pokemon to deal with, especially when it's supported by the likes of Kyogre, essentially removing one of its 2 weaknesses. Magearna has the potential to shape the entire format around it, and frankly, that is a terrifying thought. So, that does it for the tier list. All of the restricted Pokemon from Series 12 are going to continue to be legal, and of course remember, you can use as many of them as you want. So seeing all of those Pokemon as well as the Mythicals in action is going to be absolutely wild. I would be shocked if Pokemon held official tournaments on this format, but it is supposed to run through October, so it isn't outside the realm of possibility. I'm really looking forward to experimenting with this format, both here and on Twitch, so make sure that if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and of course, subscribe and ring the bell, and follow the stream so that you don't miss any of the Series 13 action coming your way after Worlds. I hope that you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys next time. This phone tastes really good. That's the stupidest thing I've ever recorded. Oh my god. Do you want some of the phone? It's a really tasty phone.